You guys want to know something? I finally understand how frustrating it can be when somebody says that if you want to catch up for retirement, you need to save and invest as much as you possibly can. If you go to any YouTuber, a finance YouTuber, they will tell you two things. If you go online and you start looking, why am I late to saving for retirement? What can I do if I'm late to saving for retirement? And you get bombarded with a few or a couple of responses, and we're going to go over these. So the first one is that you should have started earlier. Well, duh. You know what? I would have started earlier if I would have known about saving and investing, or if I would have had the money to save and invest. And the truth is that most of us, especially if you're late to saving for retirement, have started earlier. But maybe we ran into some type of hardship in life and we ended up having to take the money out, or maybe something happened, because life isn't as simple as people think it is. There's a lot of curveballs that life will throw at you, whether you lose your job, maybe you had to file bankruptcy, maybe you just made a bad decision that you can't regret, or you can regret. I mean, you know what they say about hindsight? Hindsight is 2020. You can go back and you can look at the changes you would have made back then. If you would have made those changes, life would have been better. But we don't live in hindsight. We only deal with a day-to-day life. And unfortunately, it's not as simple as just going down a path without any hardships. It can be challenging. And then another one is that you need to save and invest as much money as you possibly can. We know if you're young, you only need to put about 15 to 20% of your paycheck in some type of investments that's going to grow. And then by the time you reach retirement, you should be good. As long as you made the right investments, you just let it ride, you didn't pull it out, and you just left it there and just kept investing on a regular basis. You're going to be golden. You should be golden. Now, those of us who are late to saving for retirement, what we're told is that you need to throw 40 to 50, even 60% of your paycheck in investments because you're trying to catch up. So you're already behind the 8 ball and you're starting from scratch. So you need to do everything possible to catch up for retirement. Well, the truth is you can't afford to throw 50, 60, even 40% of your paycheck, because you got to eat and you got to live right now. Plus, there has to be a happy balance between saving and investing. You cannot throw everything in there because there's no guarantee that you're going to grow old and be able to touch that money when you turn 72, or if the income limit changes and you can't even touch your retirement till later. So there's no guarantee that you're going to survive that long. So you can't just give up today, hoping and praying that you're able to survive tomorrow. So what are we supposed to do? Especially if you are late to saving for retirement, because the last thing you want to do is lay awake at night, stress out about whether or not you're going to be able to retire, because whether or not, guys, that day's coming. So there's something that you need to do today if you want to be in a situation, a better financial situation than you are today, tomorrow. So in this video, guys, I'm going to discuss some of the things that I've realized. And I've been guilty of saying save and invest as much as you can. I have been guilty of pushing that whole model, but now I realize and I understand how frustrating that can be to tell somebody to save and invest when they have nothing to save and invest, or they're just trying to make ends meet. So let's go ahead and discuss about what you should be doing if you are in this predicament, and how you can actually start saving and investing, even if it may not be 40, 50, or 60% of your paycheck. So, hey guys, if you are new here, my name is Susan Velez, and on this channel, we talk about making money, saving money, investing money, and taking care of our health, especially if you are late to saving for retirement like me. So yeah, guys, I've been guilty of it. I've told people that the best way to save and invest is to push as much money as you can into your retirement and then just go on your merry way. And before you know it, you've caught up. You might not be a millionaire, but whatever you put in there right now is going to be financially totally different, or change your finances compared to if you do nothing. But the thing I've realized, guys, is that while I have been fortunate enough to actually save and invest money, I kind of sounded like, I don't know. I mean, I feel guilty because I've told you to save and invest as much as you can. And if you just have a job, that's virtually impossible to save and invest. You want to know why? Because life is expensive. And if you just have a job, you know, as well as I do and everybody else, is that the cost of living just keeps going up, but our wages stay the same. So how can you save and invest when everything's going up but your paycheck? Life, if you couldn't save several years ago when things were less expensive, and I'm not talking politics, I don't care who's in office. I mean, we have no control over who's in office. We have to do the best of what we can do, regardless who's in office. So I don't want to be political, but I'm just saying, let's just say 10 years down the road or 10 years ago, things were less expensive. And I don't even know who was in office 10 years ago, but we're just going 10 years ago. Regardless, in the past, things were or less expensive. And if you couldn't save then, imagine now trying to squeeze some savings out of your paycheck, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, the cost of groceries, gas, rent, everything's going up except your paycheck. And yet all these YouTubers, myself included, are telling you to save and invest more. Well, I know how hard it is, guys, because I actually just got paid yesterday. And even though I don't rely 100% on my paycheck, just looking at that little paycheck to pay a little bit of bills and then buy some groceries or do something, it doesn't go very far, especially with today's prices. So I'm not going to tell you guys to save and invest as much as you possibly can if you have a job, because I know the job is just meant for paying for your roof, buying groceries, and taking care of yourself and your family. And it may not cover more. And if it does, and you aren't able to save and invest on just your job salary or your job wages, great. That's awesome. But for most people, having a job, just a job, is not enough to be able to save and invest. The days where we just go to work, or even living on one job where our parents or our grandparents were able to just go to the job and maybe just the mail or maybe one household income was able to survive, those days are gone. Now you need two incomes. So you got both the spouses are working together, or if you have a partner, both of you have to work and bring in money and then pay everything. And even then, it might not leave you a lot of money left for saving and investing. Unfortunately, society has changed. We are meant or groomed to become employees and then stay on that treadmill of working at a job that you may or may not like, and it's just enough just to get by or be comfortable. And that's why the acronym for a job is just over broke, because for most people, it is virtually impossible to save and invest if you have a job. Now, I'm not trying to knock a job. I'm not trying to say quit your job. I'm not trying to knock anything about a job. I think a job, if you have a job, is extremely important because it does pay your bills. It does pay for the roof over your head, and it keeps you from being homeless. Now, that said, a job is not security, and a lot of people think that a job is security, but the truth is they can cut your hours, they can lay you off, they can fire you. We've seen all these people getting laid off right now, and unfortunately, it's scary. I feel bad for anybody who is losing a job, especially if they don't have a lot of savings. And even if they do have a lot of savings, guys, you know how hard it is to save money and see a balance grow, but how easy it is for the balance to disappear. I mean, it might take you 5 years to save a good little nest egg, but if you lose a job and you have to start living off of that money that you've saved, do you think that's going to last long? No, it's not. It's very easy to spend your savings, but it's very hard and takes a lot of time to see your savings grow. So what are you supposed to do if you just have a job and you're barely making ends meet and you might just be living paycheck to paycheck? Well, I'm going to tell you guys what we're doing and what I'm doing and what I think is going to help you. And this is the only way that I've been able to save and invest. If it hadn't been for what I'm about to share with you guys, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And guys, I'm nowhere near being able to retire with dignity, but I'm on my way. And that's the thing that I want you guys to learn or to understand is this is the only way you're going to be able to get ahead, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you can't save and invest anything. And you might be worried about what you're going to do in retirement. So that thing that I'm about to tell you guys is to start a YouTube channel. Yeah. Start a YouTube channel. I know a lot of people in the comments have said that they want to start a YouTube channel or they have a YouTube channel, but they haven't done anything with it. Well, I understand because that's what I did with this channel. I've had it for a while and I didn't do anything with it. And it wasn't until I started getting serious and started seeing my other business income really just drop down that I realized I need to do something. Because to tell you the truth, my blogging business, which is what the business that I had before, the successful business that I had, is the one that helped me save and invest where I am right now. And if it hadn't been for that business, like I said, I wouldn't be anywhere near what I have right now. I wouldn't actually have anything. I might have, like, I don't know, maybe $20,000, $30,000 in my investments, but that's nowhere near what the business has allowed me. Because of my business, guys, I have a net worth of over $200,000, and it fluctuates because everything is in the stock market. And we all know that the stock market fluctuates on a daily basis depending on what the economy is doing. But that is where my net worth is. And that is where what is going to allow me to continue to save and invest and catch up for retirement. So that's what I have to tell you guys. Now, that said, before you run off and start a business, let me tell you guys a little bit, or give you guys a little bit more tips. So the first thing is, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, ask yourself, are you working from a budget? I know a lot of people don't want to hear about a budget. I know my partner hates the word budget because it seems like it's strict, or, you can't spend anything. But the truth is, a budget is going to allow you to see where you're spending the money. And if you are living paycheck to paycheck, it's so important to see where your money is going, because if you have money leaks, a budget will allow you to fix those money leaks so that you can either have more money to save, or you can actually have more money to pay your bills, especially if you are struggling to pay your bills. Because guys, it's not easy right now. The economy, there's so much going on, and it's so important to make sure that you have an understanding of where your finances are going, where your bills are going. Once you know that your budget, your money's right, you're doing everything perfect, and you don't need to make any changes, or you don't need to make any cuts to your finances, at that point, guys, it's time to not take the job for granted. Keep going to work, keep showing up, keep doing what you need to do. But on the side, you need to mind your business. Now, what I mean by mind your business is you need to start a YouTube channel. And if you've already started one, awesome. Then you need to keep going. You need to take the action, because the one thing that I've realized is the only difference between somebody who has success on YouTube and somebody who doesn't is the person who has success on YouTube keeps going, and the person who doesn't have success quits. For some reason, they don't see the instant gratification that they want, or they get tired of posting content, or they don't know what to post about. And that's the thing that I've realized, guys, is with me, with my business, I stopped posting, or I would post whenever I want to. And then I cry, or not cry, but bitch about the fact that my YouTube channel wasn't growing. Well, you know what? I'm not minding my business. I'm not doing what it takes to grow this business. So if you are not able to save and invest on your job, well, you know what? A job isn't meant for really saving and investing. I mean, yeah, some people might make enough money to save and invest with their job. But for the most of us, if you don't have a high paying job and you don't have a lot extra after you pay your bills and do whatever you need to do with your paycheck, then you need to think about starting a business. Start a YouTube channel, and everything that you earn from this YouTube channel, guys, is not meant for you to go out and blow it on anything. No, what you want to do, and this is what has allowed me to save and invest where I'm at right now, is that when you start a YouTube channel and you start earning money, any amount of money, you take that money and you put it in a separate checking account. And you do not touch that money. That money is for the end of the year when you pay your taxes, and then you invest in yourself, in your future self. And this might be the only way that you can do this, guys, because like I said, if it hadn't been for my business, I would be nowhere near what I am. So set that money aside. Do everything that you need to do to grow your YouTube channel. Get online, do some type of business. And the reason that I say a YouTube channel, guys, is because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, guys, make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know if you started a YouTube channel, because I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, and every comment, every interaction, every like helps me grow this channel. And I'm trying to build a community of people who might be scared that the time is coming that they're going to have to retire, but yet they don't know what to do. I'm trying to share my experience, and not only my experience, but I'm trying to share a community, or grow community, who has started late, may have started behind the 8 ball, but yet we make the changes today so that we can actually grow old and not have to worry about finances, not have to lose our sleep because we don't know what we're going to do when we get old. So anyway, guys, Like I said, as soon as you start earning money, put that money aside. Do not touch it, because at the end of the year, Uncle Sam's going to come calling for their portion. And then anything that you have left, you can take and invest in a IRA or some type of solo 401k, SEP IRA. I'm not going to tell you guys where to invest your money, because I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a financial guru. I'm just trying to tell you guys what I've experienced and how, if it hadn't been for my business, I'd be nowhere near where I am. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, I already work 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't want to come home and work a side gig. I understand. Nobody wants to do a side hustle. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, it's kind of sad that that's the only way that we can get ahead in life, is to have something on the side when we already give away a big portion of our lives. As a matter of fact, Americans are the ones who work the hardest and the longest. Well, maybe not the hardest, but we work the longest hours, and yet we are the ones struggling. A lot of countries don't struggle near as much as us. And I'm not, I don't know geography. And if you say there's other countries that struggle worse than us or whatever, that's not the point. The point is that we are groomed to be employees, and most of us, a lot of us, are living paycheck to paycheck, and we can't get ahead with just a job. So we have no choice but to do something for ourselves. And that means that a YouTube channel can help you catch up for retirement, especially if you are late to saving for retirement. And I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. You're going to come home. You're going to want to sit in front of the TV and watch TV and kick your feet up on the recliner and just relax. And you deserve to. But the truth is, your future self also deserves something. And if you don't change something, you might be able to relax right now, but what are you going to do when the time comes and you have to walk away from your job and you don't have any savings and investments? It's tough. It's either continue down the same path you're doing right now, nothing changes, and when the time comes, you hope that Social Security is there. You hope that you're going to get a good amount from Social Security and they don't raise the age limit. That way you can actually get it when you want it. Or you can make the changes right now, start a YouTube channel, work on it diligently in your free time, whenever you get home from work, on the weekends, give up a little bit of your time. The great thing about a YouTube channel, guys, although you have to be consistent, is you can do it on your terms. You don't have to post a video daily. You can do it once a week. Just know that the more often you post, depending on the engagement, guys, it doesn't always mean that the more often you post, the more views you're going to get. But posting daily is going to help you grow faster, and it's going to help you get more comfortable in front of the camera. And that's the one thing that holds a lot of people back. And it's going to help you with your talking points and your conversation. Having a conversation with the video or with the camera when it's turned on, can be uncomfortable and can make you feel like, oh man, why am I talking into this camera and stumbling for words? I still find myself doing it. Although I've been posting daily for a couple of days now, it's helping a little bit, but I still have challenges and it still takes me time to get comfortable in front of the camera. So guys, I'm rooting for you. I want you to get to a position where you can save and invest. And the only way that you're going to be able to do it, especially if you are just struggling right now to make ends meet with your job, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and maybe you just are behind the 8 ball right now, but yet you can't find anything extra, because we all know things are so expensive. It's hard to come up with extra money. The only way you're going to be able to do something is to start a YouTube channel and then put all that money aside. And at the end of the year, you get to put in a ton of money. And that's the only difference between somebody who is actually younger and somebody older starting to save for retirement. Is the younger person doesn't have to shovel in a ton of money, because they just have to put aside a small amount every pay period. With somebody like us who are starting older and trying to catch up for retirement, unfortunately, we have to shovel in a ton of money because we don't have the time. The time limit is gone for us, our investments to grow the way they should, especially if we would have started earlier, the compound effect would have taken control. And guys, I know hindsight's 2020. Everybody says you should have saved, you should have started earlier. That's true, but hindsight's always 2020. If you look back at things or decisions that you made in the past, it's easy to see where you made a mistake and what you should have done. Today, guys, we can't live in regret. The only thing we can do is move forward and do the best that we can. Even if we don't become millionaires, If you start a YouTube channel today, guys, and you start working on it and you start earning some money, regardless of what it is, whether it's an extra $20,000 a year, maybe an extra $30,000 a year, imagine how much different your life will look 10 years down the road, or however much time you have left down the road. And the great thing is that even if you don't catch up for retirement, you will have a little side business that you can use on top of your Social Security and on top of any savings and investments that you might have right now. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. The moral of this video, guys, is I understand how frustrating it can be for somebody to tell you to save and invest when you're barely living paycheck to paycheck, when you are working a job, you're doing everything, you're showing up, you're a good employee, but yet you're not able to get ahead, you're not able to save and invest. That's because a job is just meant to keep you comfortable, just over broke, so that you don't go homeless, and it's allowing you to live for today. Unfortunately, most people can't save and invest with just a job, with just a paycheck. So they have to go out and do something different. At least that's my experience. So anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below. Are you starting a job? Are you tired of people telling you that you should have started earlier, that you need to save and invest as much as you can when you're barely making ends meet? Let me know in the comments below. And like I said, guys, I appreciate your comments. I love reading your comments, and I'm trying to build a community of people who might be late to saving for retirement, and we're doing everything that we possibly can to catch up. I understand I'm in the same shoes with you guys. I'm walking the same road. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Click on that subscribe button so that you can join me on my journey of reaching a net worth of $500,000. And guys, I will talk to you later. Take care, and thanks for taking the time to stop by. Bye.